What is the meaning of fasting?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So in this episode, we'll be discussing the fiqh of fasting. In the first discussion, we'll be discussing what does the word fiqh and fasting mean, just the definitions. So when you come across the word fiqh literally means deep understanding. But when it's used in the context of any particular subject, for example, the fiqh of fasting or the fiqh of zakat or the fiqh of salah, for instance, it means understanding the laws and the rules related to that particular act of worship and its correct application. Understanding as well as correct application. Because if you understand something but you do not know the correct application, then you can make mistakes. Or sometimes could be that you may not understand it fully and then you think that you're applying it correctly, but then that can corrupt your ibadah, it can corrupt your worship, and you can make a lot of mistakes. So fiqh literally means deep understanding to ensure correct application. So therefore, when we discuss fiqh of fasting together, it means understanding the legal injunctions, the legal rulings pertaining to fasting and the correct applications of the rulings, the correct application of those rulings to ensure that your fast is complete and your fast is valid. So now what is the definition of fasting? What is the definition of fasting in of itself? There's a great Hanafi scholar by the name of Imam Al-Quduri rahimahullah. He mentions that fasting, it means to refrain from eating and drinking and intimate relationship during the day, which means during Subah Sadiq up until sunset. In other words, until Ghurub al-Shams, with the intention, ma'a niyya, with intention. What that simply means is that fasting, it is to refrain. It means abstaining from something. Abstain. Some scholars have said that the word siyam, which is translated as fasting, literally siyam means to abstain from talking. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about Sayyidah Maryam alayha salatu salam, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed Sayyidah Maryam alayhi salatu salam to go out of Jerusalem, go to Bethlehem and give birth to Sayyidina Isa alayhi salatu salam. After she gave birth to Sayyidina Isa alayhi salatu salam, and now she was worried, she was concerned. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired to her, just tell the people, Inni nadartu lir-Rahmani sawman falan ukallima al-yawma insiya, that verily I have vowed to observe a fast for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will therefore not speak to anyone. The scholars and ulamas mention that siyam used in this context is to abstain from talking. So when we understand that the concept of siyam, sawm itself is abstaining from something. Because in the laws of the Bani Israel, many scholars have said that was part of the conditions of fasting is not excessive talking. You were not allowed to talk. Our Shariat, on the other hand, it allows people to talk. You can speak, so long as you speak, what you speak is good. But in any case, so fasting here, the word sawm is refraining. We cannot eat, we cannot drink, or we cannot have intimate relationship with our spouse during the day, during Subah Sadiq, which is begin the time of Fajr, up until sunset, until Ghurub al-Shams, with niyyah. Now, the thing about intention is that intention is necessary in order for all our ibadats to be accepted, in order for our ibadats to be fulfilled. Because if somebody just abstains from eating and drinking from the time of Subah Sadiq up until Ghurub al-Shams without intention, then that is not counted as ibadah. That's not classed as ibadah. That's not considered ibadah. There's a hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Innamal a'malu binniyat," that all actions are dependent and based on intentions. So whatever intention we make, then that makes it into an ibadah, or it becomes a rewardable thing. So this is what we understand about the definition of fasting. Now, part of the discussions of fasting is understanding its evidence. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. That, O believers, fasting has been prescribed upon you just as fasting was prescribed upon the people before you. So you understand here the word siyam is mentioned here, that Allah ta'ala says that fasting was not just only exclusive to yourself, but it was exclusive to the people before you. So this is the brief understanding of fasting. Inshallah, in the next episode, we will discuss a bit more legal rulings about niyyah and the significance of fasting. Jazakumullahu khair. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for Sadaqah Jariyah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.